Welcome to the March 9th, 2026 meeting of the Florissant City Council. Please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. City Clerk, please call the roll.
O'Donnell. Here. Pagano. Parson. Siam. Harris.
Here.
Manganelli. Here. Egan. Here. Caputa. Here. Shuldroff. Here.
The next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. Are there any corrections or additions to the meeting minutes and executive meeting minutes of February 23rd, 2026? Hearing none, Councilman Egan moves to approve the minutes, seconded by Councilman Caputa. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The meeting minutes are approved. The next item on the agenda is special presentation by the Ferguson Florissant School District. Please come forward and state your name for the record. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, you're on the right track. It's HDMI and then wherever your port
Right here.
is.
Thank you, Andy.
This is Dr. Howard Fields. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Andy, for the assistance. Good evening, Council, Mayor Lowry. I really appreciate you all allowing me to be here. As the presentation is queuing up, I do want to state that.
There we go.
Okay, all right. I do want to first start off by stating that it's so great to be back home in North St. Louis County. Prior to my role as superintendent, in which I've served for 10 months, I was in the Kirkwood School District as Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources. And so to be back in North St. Louis County during this pivotal time in the Ferguson Florissant School District, it is quite a humbling experience. I do appreciate you all allowing me to be here and share a few things with respect to Proposition S. Proposition S in particular speaks to safe schools, successful students, supported staff, and a strong community. Now, it is a pivotal time in the Ferguson Florissant School District, and it's a pivotal time because of a number of questions that I want to make sure I bring forward. I am going to frame tonight with all questions, and to those questions, some very important responses. The first of which is, what is Prop S? Prop S is a 48-cent operating levy increase that focuses on safety and security, responses to RECA, as well as non-administrative pay. More on those momentarily. If the question is, why is Prop S needed? Well, a number of things have taken place in the school district thus far. There have been $5.1 million cut from the operating budget, administrative reductions, as well as positions being eliminated. There is a vacancy review before we're filling any positions. We like to call that in HR world attrition. We have had department reorganizations, financial audits, and public reporting, as well as comprehensive staffing meetings, as well as plans. And so efficiency is something that I do quite naturally, and to be able to come and see all of these pieces play in a part, we're excited about that. We have a lot of successes. However, we do have to go out to voters for this particular tax levy. Now, typically, there's a question in terms of what we can utilize the funds for. I won't go through all of those to the left, but I do want to speak specifically on the right as it relates to some of the areas that we cannot. And so state statute is pretty clear when you're putting a proposition out. You can use them on things that are tied to the specific ballot language, and you cannot use those on major pieces such as major constructions, operating expenses paid for the debt, levies, et cetera. The three areas, again, that I focused on for safe schools, the record response, as well as supported staff. I'll get a chance to go through some of these areas. As it relates to safe schools, we do have 1,600 plus cameras. However, they are in dire need of levels of upgrade, firmware, et cetera. We do have a secure interest at McClure High School, but for those of us who have been to McClure North as one of the two schools, we do not have that level of resistance. What that means is that, yes, our doors are secure and all of that. However, ideally, at a high school in particular, when you arrive to campus, you are met with some level of resistance, meaning being an officer or what have you, and they can direct you to where you need to go. We do not have that, and we have had some situations that have played a part in the school year. There's a cybersecurity component as well. Many of us, when we think about safety and security, we think about the physical component. But when we look at the amount of files that we have online, both for student privacy, staff, former employees, et cetera, that requires a level of upkeep that we have not been able to hold. And then the last example that I will provide as some of the elements of Safe Schools components, we have had a few situations on buses, and so parents, as you can imagine, they want to know what's going on with buses, when is the bus late, how do they get notified, and our staff, we do the best job we can. However, there are some resources using technology where a scholar could get on a bus and the parent will know that that bus have taken off. If the bus is late, there's notification, things that are pretty standard in many of the school districts that are surrounding us. As it relates to the record response, we've had about 433 responses since January and about 1,000 this school year. And the reason why that is of significance in the Ferguson-Florissant School District is because all district schools fall within the zip codes included in the compensation eligibility area. Speaking with Senator Holley's office, once that first check is cut, those numbers are going to increase drastically. And so when someone is able to take the phone, look for the yearbooks, fax all of the information, they are being taken away from their jobs to support students as well as our staff. And so we certainly want to continue to support the community, but we also want to make sure two things can be true at one time. A few charts that I want to show with respect to supported staff. When individuals come into the Ferguson-Florissant School District, in particular our support staff, what we find is that they have stayed there for decades, and that is great. However, once they were to retire, trying to replace them have been quite the challenge. And so on your screen, you'll see data from Ed Plus, and it speaks to many of our surrounding districts. We're part of an 8-district cohort that we call the Marketplace. And what we find is that we are lower than all other districts in a number of categories. This is an example of the transportation or bus driver positions. These data are as of 2025, 2026, so it is recent data. And then you also have an example when we talk about HVAC. We've had a few pipes that have burst in our school systems, and when we can't find individuals for these positions, what we have to do is go out to agency, and that is certainly a drain on the budget as well. One of the things that as I get an opportunity to continue to work with you all and coming back home to North St. Louis County, I'm pretty transparent, I'm pretty matter of fact. And so as we have been having conversations, I've had listening sessions, one of the comments that I wanted to just address head on as I get an opportunity for my leadership in the district is to speak to this point. There have been a few conversations about, well, Dr. Fields, I support safe schools, secure schools for sure. However, there's a situation that I think we need to address, and that is how we got to the financial crisis we are in. That is the question that a lot of individuals wanted to know. Frankly, it's a question that I've wanted to know. And so in the spirit of research, there have been a 15-year rollback. And these are the areas that showed up. There's a chart I'll be showing here in a moment. Back in 2010 to 2014, enrollment declined, and with that, there were some fixed costs that did not fall proportionately to the declining enrollment. There was some federal funds in the form of ARA that helped temporarily stabilize the budget, but it was a structural mismatch for the long term. In 2014 to 2018, there was a tax levy increase that stabilized the operations. This would have been Prop S. I'll speak more to that momentarily. And it bought the district time. However, it was also a mismatch for the long-term viability of the district. In the 18-19 school year, that was the restructuring that took place in the district. And so as opposed to the K-5 schools, it was the pre-K through 2, 3 through 5, the 6th grade centers, 7, 8, and then the high school. Although the goals were included for learning and fiscal efficiency, it did have an impact on the budget. And then in 2020 to 2024, there were additional federal funds in the form of both COVID and ESSER funds. And again, it provided a temporary breathing room, so to speak. However, it did not address the permanent issues that the district were having. And so when you look at ESSER funds or federal funds being cut now, then there's a situation where everything is pretty much out there. This particular chart is one of many, but within 10-minute segment time, I wanted to make sure if there's one chart I wanted to pick, it was this. What you're looking at the bottom, you'll see the years from 2010 to 2025. This is a 15-year rollback. And the first, I guess, to the far left, the section, you will see that 17%. And what that means is our unrestricted fund balance was at 17% on average from the years of 2010 to 2014. Now, you may not be able to see it, but there's a faded dotted line right there, 2013. That was the failed proposition of Prop I back in 2013, asking for 75 cents. Once Prop S was passed in 2014, until the restructuring that occurred in 2019, you will see that there was a fund balance average over that span of years of 18.2%. And then after the 2019 restructuring, you will see the average of 15.1% as it relates to the unrestricted fund balance. And so while we're excited to report that we have stopped deficit spending, or on the verge of, we have a balanced budget for the next year, we still have significant needs that I wanted to make sure that we are transparent with. I spoke previously about those propositions. Again, it was Prop A, with respect to 2013, 75-cent increase that failed. In 2014, there was the passing of Prop S, again, 50 cents. And then on April the 7th, we will go out for Prop S, which is a 48-cent proposed increase to the tax levy. All of the information that you see on the screen is pretty standard with respect to how much would this impact the homeowners. I put an asterisk there because for those who have been awarded the senior tax freeze, and obviously there will not be an impact on the taxes. However, for those who have not, you'll see the $91 a year or $8 a month for an approximate assessed valuation of a $100,000 home, followed by the 9 of 120 home, and then followed by the 150 for the approximate $11 a month. And so again, as it relates to the story in the Ferguson-Florissant School District, I am very excited and honored as well as humbled to be able to do the work that we're doing. However, at the same time, we do want to rely on the community as much as possible. We want to be transparent, but we also want to make sure we have safe and secure schools, as well as successful students, supported staff, and a strong community. I think I hit 10 minutes. If I did, great. If I didn't, my apologies. I'll yield over to you, Councilman Harris.
Thank you, Dr. Fields. Quick question. The non-administrative staff, does that mean certified staff too, or are we just talking support staff?
Great question. The non-administrative staffs, everyone with respect to bus drivers, custodians, teachers, et cetera, it's not the essentially central office administrators. So principals, superintendents, anyone whose job requires an administrative certification. Great
Wonderful.
question.
All right, thank you, Dr. Fields. Any other questions? Okay, appreciate it. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. Tell Andy I got it back.
The next item on the agenda is hearing from citizens. This is a time to speak to the council on any issue, not necessarily on the agenda for 3 minutes. This is not a question and answer period. If you would like to speak to a council member or the mayor, please stay until after the meeting is over. If you're here to speak on a public hearing, please wait and speak when the public hearing is announced. The next, are there any? I have no comment cards. No, I don't see any. Okay. We'll move on to the next item on the agenda. It's communications, of which there are none. The next item on the agenda is public hearings. Public hearing number 260311.
In accordance with 405.125 of the Florissant Zoning Code, a public hearing will be held by the City Council of Florissant, Missouri in the council chambers. 955 Rue Saint Francois, on Monday, March 9, 2026, at 7 p.m. on the following proposition: to amend special use permit number 8602 for Avis Budget Car Rental LLC to add rental trucks in a B3 Extensive Business District located at 730 North Highway 67. Citizens will have an opportunity to be heard. Anyone with special needs should contact the city clerk at least 5 days before said public hearing by calling 839-7630 or email cityclerk@florissantmo.com.
Will the petitioner please come forward? Welcome, sir. Will you please state your name for the record and your city?
Yes, Keith Wilhelm. I work for Avis Budget Group.
Okay, wonderful. And can you tell us about what you're doing here at the Avis Budget?
Sure. So we already have a car location in the Florissant Meadows Shopping Center, and we rent cars out of there, and we'd like to rent trucks out of that location as well. And I came and visited with the zoning board, and they approved it and everything. No issues. They did ask that we agreed we would park the vehicles in the back of the building. There's kind of a little alcove that kind of fits in there. They also asked that we stripe those spots, those 6 spots, and put signage on there so that when customers come back there, they'll know where to park, and it won't block the normal flow through that goes back there, because I can understand like delivery trucks and maybe even some light traffic or people cutting around the back of the building would go there. So it wouldn't affect that by any means. Then we also agreed that we would put a sign in the front of the building that stated if you're returning a truck, you would go to the back of the building. So as we rent the trucks, we'll obviously talk to those customers and tell them that, you know, they'll return in the back there. And there is lighting back there and stuff too. So customers will be able to drop off there. So that's what we would like to do.
Okay. Are there questions from the council on this one? Councilman O'Donnell.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, Mr. Wilhelm.
Yes.
Welcome. I was just curious to know, in the event or in the process of a truck being returned and being returned to the back of the building, are those are they cleaned, prepared in some manner for rental again, or is there just simply a turnaround to the next person?
They would be clean back there as well. Like if there's anything like as far as vacuuming them out or just brushing them out. Typically, it's not like a car where it's carpeting or anything like that. It's all vinyl, everything. So they wipe them down and would rent them back out at that location too and everything. Yeah.
Thank you. That's all I have, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Childrath.
Mr. President. Mr. Wilhelm, can you tell me how big they are?
Sure. So there'd be 4 different sizes. One like a cargo van, like what you would see your Amazon delivery in your neighborhood, would be one, which is a large portion of our fleet. And also a 12-foot box, 16-foot box, and on occasion a 26-foot box truck as well. That's what would be in and out of there. If we would get too many, we've got a maintenance facility in Hazelwood that we would shoo them over there. Everything.
So those 6 trucks will be parked back there?
In the back,
No
correct.
matter what size they are, and if it was overflow, you say you went to Hazel, would go to Hazel?
Right, we would get rid of those because we know our limit here and
Okay.
everything. So 6 is our limit here.
Thank you, sir.
Yep, thank you.
Regarding the size of the vehicles, if you had 6 26-foot box trucks, would you be able to put all those back there, or would it have to be a mix of sizes?
It would have to be a mix, yeah. And the 26 is a small portion of our fleet to begin with.
Okay.
So that would be really weird if we had that
Okay.
many show up at one time. And if it did, we'd get rid of them.
You mentioned having lights back there. Are there hours where the customer would not be able to return the truck?
Well, we'll have a drop box back there where they can do an overnight drop. You know, but there's a key box they can put into as well. And then there's a camera that kind of focuses in on that box, everything that he's got back there.
Okay. How do you handle refueling?
Refueling, then they would take the location would, the manager there would take it to the nearest gas station and refuel. If the customer didn't do it, you know, we emphasize the customer to take care of that. You know, otherwise they pay a refueling fee plus the fuel and everything, so it gets a little expensive. So it's really encouraged to have the customer take it to a gas station and fill it up before they bring it back.
Okay. Or, you know, is there some direction to the customer on, I know there's that alcove area, but how do they know where to park? Are there marked spots there?
That's what we had agreed upon with the zoning board, is that we'd mark off 6 spots and put a sign back there, would say budget truck rental parking, so that when they come back there, they're like, oh, that's the spot. You know?
Okay, is there a minimum age of driver for that?
Really, you have to be 21, but if you're military, we would allow 18 with military orders.
Okay.
Too, so.
I can't think of any more questions. Okay, and I see none from the council. All right, thank you, sir, for
Okay.
being here this evening.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all.
Before we close this public hearing, is there anyone in the audience who would like to comment on this public hearing? Seeing no further comments, Councilman Manganelli moves to close this public hearing, seconded by Councilman O'Donnell. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. This public hearing is closed. Public hearing number 260312.
In accordance with 405.125 of the Florissant zoning code, a public hearing will be held by the City Council of Florissant, Missouri, in the council chambers, 955 Rue Saint Francois, on Monday, March 9th, 2026, at 7 p.m. on the following proposition: a request for special use for Venue 347 LLC to operate a banquet center in a B3 extensive business district located at 1833 Dunn Road. Citizens will have an opportunity to be heard. Anyone with special needs should contact the city clerk at least 5 days before said public hearing by calling 839-7630 or email cityclerk@florissantmo.com.
Thank you. Will the petitioner please come forward? Hello, sir.
Good evening.
Will you state your name?
I got loud voice, I'm
And
sorry.
city.
My name is Terrence Burton. I'm standing in proxy on behalf of April Murray.
Okay, welcome. Tell us about your project here.
Yeah, so looking for special use to operate a banquet center. Just want to open it up to have wedding receptions, birthday parties, et cetera. Goal is to serve the community, to provide a place to have corporate meetings, business meetings as well. We just want to serve our community. So give people a nice place to have their wedding receptions, birthday parties, baby showers, et cetera.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Councilwoman Pagano.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Okay, fine, this is in my ward, so now I'm really confused because you're here.
Yes.
Is April here?
April is here. Yes, she is.
Is there a Tanisha here? And is there a Nicole here? Nicole. Okay, so I'm just looking at the application, and the application is for April Murray and a Tanisha Barnes? But Tanisha's not here, but
No.
No. She's not feeling good, so she's not here. Okay, so I'd really like to ask April, because what are your plans in what is your role in the business?
Oh, so I'm just speaking on April's behalf. She got a little cough going on, so just up here for her, so.
When I start talking, I get the cough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please come to the microphone and state your name.
Yeah.
Thank you.
April
For the record.
Murray.
Okay, thank you. Welcome.
Okay, so I would really like to hear from you what you're doing up there, because I'm looking at some P and Z minutes. Okay?
Yes.
And then the
Yes.
whole thing changed. What he just said you wanted to do, but what you went to P and Z for, and then you switched.
I couldn't hear what you said.
So I'm just saying, at first, I believe you wanted the banquet center for educational purposes, conferences, luncheon, and community.
No,
events.
it was for to do anniversaries and birthday parties and all that. We were saying that's what our fields are, in education and healthcare and stuff like that.
Okay, so the minutes aren't.
No, I'm not
so
saying
I mean,
the minutes.
Deborah, I mean.
No,
I'm just
we
saying-
want to make a banquet hall. We want it to be a banquet hall.
Okay, so, but there is no kitchen in this building, correct?
No, who?
No kitchen.
Yeah, no, it's no kitchen in there. but we're putting the kitchen in there.
Okay, so I'm familiar with this building, so that's why I'm asking. So it's like, what, 2,100 square feet? 21? Okay. So I know that you asked for 150 people. P&Z brought it down to 74, including staff.
Yeah.
Okay, so did they say anything about, like, if you put a kitchen in, now the size of
No, it's
the area
space.
got smaller?
No, it's space for the kitchen. It's a room, it's a separate room for the kitchen to be put in there.
But wouldn't that take off the square footage of the building?
No.
Then where are you putting the kitchen?
It's a big storage in there too, where the kitchen will go.
That would still go into square footage of the building. Do you have a drawing? Perfect, because there was nothing in the plans.
Yeah. Oh, if I brought them up.
Yeah, we don't have this.
Okay.
So this might make way more sense to me.
Because this is the kitchen, and this is the area for the banquet hall.
Okay, and there's a bar in this establishment?
Yes.
Correct? And where's that? Where's the bar?
This is the bar. Right here. On the out, this is a wall from the kitchen, then it's a bar right there.
Okay.
And then it's 2 bathrooms.
And you're, so maximum amount of people now is 74, that's including staff,
Yes.
right? So
yes.
if there's a wedding reception, you're probably at 60, correct? Yeah,
Yeah.
all right. And what did you want your hours to be?
I didn't hear you.
What would you like your hours to be? I'm sorry.
It's like from 7 to 12. Midnight.
7 a.m. or 7 p.m.?
A.m.
7 a.m. to 12.
Yes. to 12.
Monday through Sunday?
Yep. 7 days a week. Doesn't mean we'll be there every day, but if people want to rent it, yeah.
And there is, actually, I went up there today. There is some window tinting on that. It's a mirrored window
Yes,
tint. You
we
can't
see.
see in. You're planning on taking that
Yes.
down?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And what about music?
We'll have our own music there.
Bands or,
I mean, if somebody
DJs.
rented with a band, then yeah, but then if we will offer music, you know, within our pricing and stuff. Yeah.
okay, because, and I've had this before, that people want to go into this. The problem that I have is where this is located. You know, you're right in there with all those apartments
Yes.
and things. And the music was like irritating to those who lived in there. You know, it was too loud, it was too, so I get residents who say they really don't want an establishment with the music and the drinking and things like that, because, you know, it interrupts their life. So that's where I'm having a hard time. So let me refer to the council to see if anyone else has some things, and then I'll just go over my notes. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Caputa.
My question was about the prints and everything, and that's all you have, prints?
I did turn in to them some other ones too, with the size and measurements and everything on it.
Now, with the kitchen, do you have prints on the kitchen approved through St. Louis County? Because there's no kitchen in there now, correct?
No, it's not.
So do you have any kind of other prints other than that for your construction of your kitchen?
Not yet, because we was waiting to see about getting it approved before we go spend our money, and then it's not approved.
Okay, all right. That's all I have, thank you.
Councilman Egan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, April. I do have a couple questions. This is the first time I've seen this diagram. I'm not quite sure why it didn't get in our packet, but it didn't come in my packet. So I do understand that the size of the facility is 2,000 square foot, and that's what we have here. Now, these tables, these eight-person tables, is that accurate as to how many you're going to have in that facility? Or is
Yeah.
that, so you're gonna have how many we have there?
Yes.
I can't even see, how many tables do you have listed in that?
You might have to lift the camera.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or turn it sideways. That's nice. Turn it the other way.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. That's better.
And where are the bathrooms at?
These are the bathrooms.
They're up at the entrance and you have,
At the back. It's at the back. This is the entrance.
okay. So you have 9 8-person tables in there.
Yeah, because you can put tables off to the side over here, because it's an area over here too.
Okay, what about, are you gonna have like a dance floor?
I mean, it depends on how they want it set up. You can make area for a dance floor.
Are you, the music, is it gonna be a DJ?
When you rent it, it depends on if they want a DJ. That would be something that they were, have to pay within the plan if they want us to provide the DJ. But if they have their own DJ.
And the alcohol that's being served, are you gonna serve alcohol by the drink or is it in a package?
Well, I know we have to have a license, so it depends on the package, like you said, yeah.
So if I come in and, gosh, I wanna have a birthday party for myself, you'll run a cash bar if I want that?
If you wanted that, yeah.
Okay, do I have the option of saying that I'm gonna buy all the drinks as well in your packages?
Did we? About the drinks, if we wanted that in our package. I mean, I guess we could, we haven't nailed everything down with the package with the alcohol to how we gonna do it, yeah.
Are you going to require that food is part of the package of every rental? Or if I just want to say, hey, listen,
No.
I don't want to have food. I just want to have my friends in and have a cash bar. Can I do that?
Yes.
I can do that. Okay, that's kind of like, okay, very good. Talk to me about your security system, your cameras and all that kind of stuff.
We will have a security system put in. We haven't put nothing in yet, but we do have all that lined up to get put in there. For as motion detector, the cameras,
Okay.
and we'll have.
And we require that when you have an alcohol license, that
Yes.
if you have any legitimate request from the police department, that you must honor that, and your cameras have to be functioning.
Yes.
But I would also say that, so all food is going to be prepared on site. There's nothing going to be brought in from the outside? I'm sorry.
Well, it depends. If they could just rent the hall and they prepare their own food, yes.
Okay, I
But
believe.
if they want a package where we prepare the food,
Okay, I'm going to refer to the city councilor on this. Does that fall more under the lines of an event center as opposed to a banquet?
Yes, so the intention of the code in requiring a full commercial kitchen is that the kitchen would be used at the events.
oh,
Okay.
okay.
And I'm going to ask Mr. O'Donnell, because I know we just had this discussion last time we were here. What time did we decide that we were going to, on the one bill, on the banquet center that was proposed in your ward, that we were going to terminate?
I believe we had asked for 10 p.m. The request was for 12 a.m.
Okay, and we requested for, I'll be very honest with you, Ms. April, it looks like there's a lot of things you don't have answers to on this. The camera system, that kind of stuff. I would like, I'd like to get these before this goes to a vote. I would like to have you be a little more knowledgeable. Do you have a menu printed up yet?
I didn't hear you.
Do you have a menu printed up yet?
A menu?
Yes.
I don't, because most banquets, when you do most banquets, they'll come in and say, do you serve this, and we can tell them if we have this or we don't.
Okay. Do you have prior experience in the banquet business?
Yes.
Do you own one? Do you own a banquet
No,
center?
my family did. We used to on Cafe Raymond on Parker Square
Okay,
for
okay,
years.
very good. All right, well, I'm going to, that's what I want to know right now, but I'm hoping before we have a next meeting, we can get exact specification, because I'm not quite sure about what's in front of me right now, to be honest.
Okay,
Thank
because,
you.
I mean, because we wanted to get started, but
Right.
like, I do have like people waiting, like the security, I have a security man that's gonna come in and will put the security in. I do have someone that's gonna put the kitchen in that's licensed, but I don't wanna spend that money and then I don't get
understand.
approved.
Well,
Yeah.
I would encourage you to talk to Ms. Irvin again, our building inspector, about the difference between an event center
Yes,
and a banquet
yes.
center, because a lot of what you're telling me, it falls under the line of event centers, which we really don't allow here in town for a
Yeah,
variety
because
of
I'm not
reasons.
looking for an event center, I was looking for a
But that's,
banquet hall.
but you kind of just told me that's what you were, one of your options was to, if I wanted to bring my own food in, that would be kind of an option I would have, and that's more an event center than a banquet. On a banquet hall, you go there, for instance, we have one on the other side of town where you go in and I sit down with the owner and I discuss the package that I want, and that includes a meal for so many people. It may or may not have a drink package. And that, the one we have operating in town right now does not have a cash bar system. So I think you might want to touch base with Ms. Irving before we meet again, just to kind of find out that we're on the same plane here. That's all I have right now. Thank you.
Councilman Manganelli.
Thank you, Mr. President. Most of my questions have been asked and answered. The one I'm left with is you have a drawing there with 9 tables and eight people per table. How many employees are you going to have?
It would just be 3.
Okay, that would put you then at 75 if you fill all 9 tables, which would be 1 over.
Well, that's why I said I gave a different diagram that should have been in my folder. I made 11 copies and it should have been in there. It had the measurements and everything on it.
Okay, alrighty. Really, like I said, everything else has been answered. That's all I have, Mr. President. Thank you.
Councilwoman Parson.
Thank you, Mr. President. So a lot of my questions have been asked and answered, but of course, I have the question about if you put the kitchen in and that solid black line is a wall, how does your employees go to serve the people at the banquet tables?
It is on one part of, it's a door right here in the back from the kitchen. This is a hallway.
Okay,
And that's the door.
okay,
And we were gonna put an opening right here in that wall from the kitchen.
because that's going to be the opening toward the bar, correct? Okay, how many, is it just a 1-stall, 2 1-stall bathrooms?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said you have experience with banquet centers because you used to be part of Cafe Rima. This is, I guess, on topic but off topic. Why did Cafe Rima close?
Well, my brother that was running it, him and his fiance separated. She moved, so they closed it down. And then it went up under a new owner too.
Okay,
It got sold.
okay.
So.
All right, so with the capacity of 74 people, and this is banquet center, is there space for it to be a dance floor for whatever event that is coming in?
It is, this right here is it's got a.
You're pointing, but we can't see.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I moved it. Right here is a raised floor.
Okay.
It's a raised floor over here too.
Okay. So those, so the raised floor there and the raised floor up at the top does not include the 74 limit capacity?
Because it can be like, for a wedding, the couple can sit off to the side or up front, so they can be up, you know, so everybody can see them.
Okay. That's all the questions I have. Thank you.
Councilman Childress.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ms. Murray, are you going to let people sit at the bar also, or not?
We were thinking about that, but
Okay, so
we
that-
hadn't made a decision on that because we were looking at the space being used.
Okay, so that might put you over too, the
Yeah,
occupancy.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that wasn't like something we had, like, wrote down that we would do, let people
Okay.
sit at the bar.
How many parking spaces do you have for this facility?
I didn't hear you.
How many parking spaces do you have for the facility?
It's quite a few parking spaces on the lot.
Okay.
I think they said I think it was like 80, 90 different parking spaces.
Okay. You're not going to charge for parking, are you?
No,
Okay. You're not going to have hookah there, are you?
no.
Okay. That's all I have for now.
Councilwoman Pagano.
Yes, let's go back to the drawing. If there was a band or a DJ, where would you place them to move the tables?
It can be either here or there. We will make sure they know these are the only two options. And then it's a space right here in the back. Right here. Right here.
Oh, okay,
Right here.
by the bathrooms.
Mhm.
Okay. So, let me ask, because you just brought up this cafe. Who, and I probably asked this before, who's Nicole?
Right there.
Okay.
That's Nicole.
So we keep referring to someone else in the catering business, but you are the one with the experience, correct?
She have experience too.
Right, I'm just looking on here that
Yeah.
you taught at P&Z, correct? Okay. So, but you haven't been mentioned yet, it was somebody else, that's why I'm confused. Just one thing. Okay. So yeah. I guess I'm good. I think I have my answers so far that I need.
We're going to go back to Councilman Egan.
Thank you. I just want to clarify a point that from Councilwoman Parson. You have 2 bathrooms,
Yes.
and they're each single commode, is that correct?
Yes.
And so it's roughly 1 stall, if you will, for 32 people? If there's 74 people, let's just say for the sake of argument, there are men and women, there are 32 of each, right? It seems a little thin for the amount of toilets for 32 people, especially if there's alcohol involved. That's just an opinion of mine. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. I believe that looks like all of the questions from the council on this. Okay. I think that's it for now.
Thank you.
So I would say, though, that make sure that maybe come back the next time. Like Councilman Egan said, you might want to touch base with Ms. Irvin, our commissioner, on specifics of the plan. And then, next time we'll have to read it again. But if you're here and we can suspend the rules and have you come forward, we can have more discussion before we have a vote.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
Appreciate you. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
being here. Yeah.
Thank you.
Before we close this public hearing, is there anyone in the audience who would like to comment on this public hearing? Seeing none, Councilwoman Pagano moves to close this public hearing, seconded by Councilman Cyan. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. This public hearing is closed. Public hearing number 2603013.
All right, in accordance with 405.135 of the Florissant zoning code, a public hearing will be held by the City Council of Florissant, Missouri in the council chambers, 955 Rue St. Francois on Monday, March 9, 2026 at 7 p.m. on the following proposition. A request to amend ordinance number 8888 for Dr. Yaki Health and Human Development Center to operate holistic clinic with therapy rooms, training rooms, and podcast recording studio in a B5 extensive business district located at 660 Charbonnaire. Citizens will have an opportunity to be heard. Anyone with special needs should contact the city clerk at least 5 days before said public hearing by calling 839-7630 or email cityclerk@florissantmo.com.
Will the petitioner please come forward? Welcome, gentlemen. Will you each please state your names and your city for the record?
My name is Dr. Yakai Raphael Elohim, and I'm from Florissant, been in Florissant my whole life, and still in Florissant.
Joe Dale, architect.
Okay, welcome. Tell us about your projects.
Well, Dr. Yaki is the current resident or business operating at 2402 North Lindbergh and has the opportunity to buy 660 Charbonniere, formerly GMT Auto, formerly the Presbyterian Church. And in this process, there's only been some minor construction interior-wise. We proposed no site work, no building addition or anything, but he just needs greater space to expand his business. So we came to planning and zoning and presented there and got their approval. Again, there's minor work on the interior, but it's interior alteration work only. But you can see that he's expanding his business to add more therapy rooms and in general, more operating space.
Okay, we're going to start with, do you want to say?
Well, I mean, all in a nutshell, Joe did a good job at that.
All right, wonderful. Councilman Egan.
Thank you. Good evening. Sir, how do you pronounce your last name again?
Elohim.
Elohim. Good evening, Mr. Elohim.
Good evening.
That's in my ward, and so I have some questions.
Mm-hmm.
I did have a couple of residents reach out to me with questions when they saw the public hearing. You operating currently Dr. Yaki Health and Wellness Detoxification Center.
Yes, sir.
You're not a medical doctor, is that correct?
No, I'm not a medical doctor.
Because they referred me to the Better Business Bureau, and and they say that you're not a medical doctor.
No, I state that it's all on my website. I got sightings up in my clinic that shows that. They call me doctor because I have doctorates and I have honorary doctor degrees.
So
I have certifications in nutrition from Stanford University. I also have a certification in biochemistry from the University of Adelaide. I got a bunch of certifications, and I've been honored by a bunch of accredited universities for the work that we do. But I am not a medical profession and don't claim to be. But I do have medical profession with my staff, though.
Very good. So your PhD, that's an honorary PhD,
Yes.
correct? And what university is that from?
We have one from Stanford. We have another one from, what's the other church? Harvest University. It's a lot of them, I'm not going to lie. I've been doing this for 16 years, traveling the world, doing a bunch of lectures at all of the HBCUs over human anatomy and physiology. They recognize my work, and they call us out, and they give me a bunch of awards for them.
Okay, do you know what your current rating with the Better Business Bureau is?
It's pretty low, but if you look on the Google side, it's very high, so.
It is pretty low, it's an F.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And so my concern is that obviously people in my ward would be going to your business, and matter of fact, the BBB strongly warns people to use caution when dealing with your business. That's true, isn't it?
And the reason for that is our shipping time. It have nothing to do with our storefront. Our storefront is amazing. When you actually look on Google and you Google us, we get nothing but good reviews on our storefront. It's our shipping time, and the reason why is because we place all of our botanicals from the land of their origin, and it takes a while for it to get to us, and then we got to make sure that they chemically tested and that they're approved before we sell it to people, because we stand behind our product. At first, it was a while putting it on the website for people to understand that. So when 15 days passed, even though it's on the website to let you know that it's 30 business days, they are automatic. Instead of calling us and talking to us, they went to Better Business Bureau. So if you look at it, them are only the complaints you really get. It's not us having bad customer service or anything like that. So if you look at the storefront versus the website, that's where you will see the BBB actually come into play at. And again, I hired extra staff. I got extra people answering the phone. We have really been taking this over. In fact, our new slogan is year 2026 is the year of customer service. So we've been doing a lot, and I've allocated a lot of resources to get rid of that problem, which was an online issue, not a storefront issue at all.
Well, I would actually beg to differ a little bit, because I did read some of the complaints today, and some of them weren't just on delivery, there were some other complaints, but I'll let you go back and look at that at your leisure. Although I'll be very candid with you, you have responded to the BBB complaints on each issue, which I appreciate. Are there doctors that are there medical people that are actually working at your facility?
Yes, we have a registered nurse that works at our facility. We have a regular nurse that works at our facility, and we also have another registered nurse that come in to help us out. We have a certified massage therapist at our facility. We have a medical assistant at our facility, but we're not doing anything that deals with pharmaceuticals whatsoever, and we're not prescribing nor diagnosing. So we don't have a need for an actual doctor. We actually, if you're sick, go to the hospital. If you you break a limb, go to the doctor. You know, we're not extremists like that, and we tell everybody that. And again, for the hundreds of thousands of people that come see us and that visit here, it's posted everywhere, and we tell people exactly what we do and who we are.
Okay, very good. And you would allow me to come and take a look at your facility then?
Of course, I would love for you to. I'd love for you to get some therapies.
I will get you with us this weekend before the next council meeting. I'd like to come by and tour your facility.
Perfect.
I'm not a doctor, but I did consult with one on what exactly detoxification is. And so I got a couple questions about detoxification.
Okay.
Do you do any invasive procedures, lab work, blood work, that kind of stuff?
Now, we do live and dry blood analysis. We don't do it venously. We don't do it intravenously. We do not pull from your actual veins. It's like you checking your blood sugar, glucose levels. We take a prick of the finger, and we smudge it on, because I'm into microbiology, we smudge it on a little glass. We put it under a scope, and I show you your blood live, magnified by 100,000 times under a microscope. And I've been trained and certified to identify any pathologies or anything that's inside the blood. So if you got parasites, little small hookworms, threadworms, fluke worms, and stuff like that, these little intracellular worms you will see floating around on the thing. And it's pretty fascinating. The people love it. But no, we're not drawing blood or anything like that.
Do you guys do colonic procedures there?
We wanted to do a colonic procedure. We had it in the beginning plans, but the work that it took to get it in there and breaking up the floor to run sewage lines, we just scrapped it. So we just going to turn it.
So you're not going to do that at this facility? I thought that was still on the.
No, we're not doing it.
Okay, I was misunderstanding. I thought that was still on the table. Do you the massages? What kind of massages do you do?
Deep tissue and lymphatic massages.
Okay. How are the people that give those massages certified?
So is one certified lymphatic massage therapist, and I'm also certified in the lymphatic system as well. But we have a machine. In the machine, you lay on a bed and you put this FDA approved suit on you, which you will see when you come by, and it literally does its own compressions of the lymphatics, of the fascia, and of the tissues.
Are you guys Medicare and Medicaid certified?
No, we're not. Again, and we can't be, because we do not prescribe any medication. Everything we get is from people coming in with their hard-earned money and investing in their health.
Okay, do you use cannabis or THC products?
No, we do not do any cannabis, weed, tea, none of that.
Okay. There's also a recording studio in this proposal, correct?
That's not a recording studio. We asked for that to be redacted the last time I was here, and she did correct it verbally, but I guess we didn't take it out. There would not be any music recording studio. It is a broadcast studio. I gained the millions of my followers off of live streaming and broadcasting, so I would like to continue that there, because I also do it at the building that I'm currently at now in the basement area. Okay. So you would not be able to come through and pay me to record a song or nothing like that.
Right. Could I come through and use your podcast studio?
No, you cannot.
Podcast?
Nope.
If we approve this, is there anything that would prevent him from, not that I don't mistrust you, from renting out podcast studio?
So the way that it's drafted right now, it's to amend it to allow a podcast/recording studio. You could add a condition that says that it's not
Okay.
for customers.
And you'd be agreeable to that, correct?
Yeah, I'm not renting it out to anybody.
What time would you end, what time do you normally end your day of work right now?
Right now, it's supposed to be at 6, but sometimes we get out of there at 7, depending on the overflow that we have.
Right, so the latest you go during the week?
The latest I go during the week to the public will probably about like 7:30, because sometimes it'd be slow days where it'd be a drag, I don't know why, but we get out of there at 7:30. Me, I might stay till 12, myself in my office studying and reading and stuff like that.
Sure. What about on weekends?
On weekends, about twice a month out of the month, we do have lectures. That's what I'm known for.
Yeah,
That's
right.
how I got my popularity. We was going to have everybody out about 10 p.m., 10:30 p.m.
10 p.m. And you don't serve any alcohol at these lectures or anything?
No, this is a health and
Right.
wellness facility. No smoking, no drugs, no alcohol, no opiates, none of that.
Will the whole complex be smoke-free?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Anybody that know me, you can't smoke, drink, or anything on my premises. It might as well be a school premises.
Okay, and how many people, what's the maximum capacity on your lectures?
I think the maximum, thousands come out to me, but this one is a joke question for the school because it can't be thousands there.
Right.
What was the maximum?
We calculated an occupant limit for the building based on the square footage in that. That our occupant load, let's see. We based our occupant load at 127 for the facility itself, for the business facility.
Okay.
And to make sure that the parking was adequate for the.
That's my next question.
Yeah.
You can see coming down that.
Yeah, we had submitted a site plan to Deborah Irvin because she had asked that question. So we had sent a site plan. There's quite a bit of parking there. We were under the number of spaces that were there, but Dr. Yaki is the only tenant in the building.
Okay, very good. I think that's the questions I have right now. I would like to contact you between now and the next meeting and come take a tour of the current facility, and you can, show me the difference that's going to be between this facility and the one you're proposing in my ward. Is that fair?
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Just real quick on the two issues about the recording studio. At the P&Z meeting, we did address that, and we had asked if they would just put podcast broadcasting. We did say that there was no recording studio there. And also on the the colonic hydrotherapy, there's an email exchange between Deborah Irvin and I after we looked at the rough-in requirements for that machine.
Right.
It requires an underground waste, and we modified our interior alteration plans to eliminate that and just create, because the rough-in requirements were just too much for an existing building.
Okay, thank you very much. That's all I have.
Oh, we have more questions. I've got at least 4 more lights on here. So, lots of interest. Okay, Councilman Manganelli.
Thank you, Mr. President. So you mentioned lymphatic drainage massage. Okay. What are the licenses they hold to do that?
You technically, you don't need an actual license to get a lymphatic drainage massage. You need a certification. And myself, I'm certified in lymphatic drainages, and I have 2 other people that's certified in it as well.
Okay. So my daughter is a licensed massage therapist, and she does lymphatic drainage massage.
Right. I'm pretty sure that's part of it.
So you do have to be licensed.
To be a lymphatic massage therapist?
Well, she went for several different, types of massage she went to school for. She became licensed.
And I totally understand that, but you can literally go on to certain websites that's ran by a school and take classes and go to these courses to get certified without actually being license.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check into this,
Yeah,
but she
please do.
is-
Matter of fact, before we leave, I'll give you the school name. It's a
What's
few
that?
of them. I think it's the study of lymphatics.org. You can go there. There's plenty of schools.
Okay.
I'll give you one though.
Okay. Like you said, she had to be licensed, okay, that's all I have, thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Caputa.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, I have a couple questions. The one I see on the one plan that you put on here about you got it where activity room, product storage and packaging, plus a cafeteria and kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is this gonna be a kitchen actually to where you're gonna cook food? Or would this just be a microwave, refrigerator type?
So we
Is
agree.
it a break room?
It's a break room
cafeteria
kitchen, and the
where
kitchen
you're
is
gonna
just for the
have hot
staff.
food?
That's what we agreed for, that the kitchen is just for the staff. And today, when the inspectors was there, they looked and they said that everything was intact for us to cook our own food for staff members if we wanted to. We just had to find a specialist to come out to make sure some type of pressure in the kitchen was relieved twice a year. So it will only be for staff members. It would not be for anybody coming, no customers coming in.
St. Louis County Inspector?
It was-
For a kitchen or City of Florissant?
It was Jim Bean that came, and it was who's going to be the new fire marshal. They came and they spoke of that, said we'll have to have somebody extra to come out to look at the kitchen, but everything was actually there for us to cook in.
And my other question, Mr. Egan asked about any kind of marijuana on the facility.
No
You said
marijuana, no drugs, no alcohol, none of that.
So anything holistic, so that means natural stuff, correct?
Yes.
So any kind of mind-altering natural drug you
No,
will not
no,
be using?
no
like a
psychedelics, no
mushroom?
mushrooms, none of that.
Okay, for your microdosing, you don't
No,
do none of that?
none of that.
Okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Councilman Siam.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening. I actually just have one question. How long have you been at your current location at 2402 North Highway 67?
2 years, and before that I was at 3533 Dunn Road.
Okay, just 2 years? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. That's all I have.
Councilwoman Parson.
Thank you, Mr. President. A lot of my questions have been answered, but a couple of questions that I want you to clear up for me. So the BBB gave you a rating of F, and you stated that it was because of shipping. What type of products are you having shipped to you? And I know that me being taking something that I can't even think of right now what it is, but I put it in my oatmeal every morning and it has this wonderful cinnamon flavor. What type of products are you having shipped to you, and who's your manufacturer, and what types of licenses or certifications do they have?
For one of them, one of my main ones is called Maker Nutritions. They're out of New York.
Okay.
And we white label for them. And they have to source it. And, you know, since we stand by organic and we stand by all of these different labels, the process be once I order, they have to source it first, then they have to get to them, then they have to dry it, they have to dry it and get it ready for me. That takes a while, and then the labeling takes a while because they have to get all of these different order numbers for us to be able to put on our actual packages that is organic or that is this and that is that. So it's not really necessarily us. We just make everything to order because I don't want you to order from me. So basically the site is this. You order and then we make it for you because we guarantee the freshness of all of our botanicals. And that's the issue. And it's just, you know, we not Amazon, and everybody got the Amazon mindset,
Right.
which is cool. You paid your money, but it's not like that we don't put it out there in our shipping policies. It's not like I don't talk about it when I'm live. Everybody knows that our shipping takes a while, which we have improved. But of course, out of the millions of people I serve, which is millions, and I'm being humble about it, we got, 40 people that said something negative. So from the outside looking in, it looks bad, it does. But when you look at my transactions and all the people that we bring to Florissant or the people that do buy with me, we get way more love and we get way more compliments than we get complaints. It's just The complainers, which they can complain, they go to BBB, but most of the compliments, they go to our Google reviews. And it's a difference, and I understand.
I understand that. My next question is let me make sure I have it turned right. Is your health facility approved by insurance companies?
No, it's not.
So it's out of pocket?
Yeah. And the reason why is, again, because we don't sell pharmaceuticals, we don't claim to be medical doctors, medical physicians, and we don't claim to sell pharmaceuticals, so they wouldn't cover it anyway.
Okay, so this is just me personal. I suffer from asthma, that's why I sound like this. What types of things would you, do you have some types of things for people like me?
So if you came in and said that you have asthma, the first thing we'll do legally is to go talk to your doctor about asthma. But when we talk about the symptomology of asthma, which is mucus and inflammation inside of your respiratory system and your bronchial tubes, I will say the best diet you can get on is an alkaline forming diet. Make sure that you keep a low calcium diet. And then I would tell you herbs like coatfoot that grows in the backyards in Florissant, dandelion root that grows in your backyard. We have them from certified compounds made that come in from us that we can legally sell you because it's not a drug. You can take that and drink it as a tea, and it'll soothe and get rid of the inflammation inside of your respiratory system. But if you need medication or an inhaler, or what you would call an enhanced steroid from it, go see your doctor. It'll go just like that.
Understood. And last question, your podcast is just for you, correct?
Yeah.
So I can't come in with my son and do a podcast over Cobra Kai?
No, nobody,
Okay.
nobody can come and rent out the podcast room.
Gotcha.
You cannot rent it out. It's for me. And if anybody watch me, you see it just be me.
Okay, thank you.
Councilman O'Donnell.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm curious, there's a number of rooms on the drawing. What is the difference between a therapy room and a training room?
So a training room is just showing you how to stretch. Say somebody come in and they have fascia problems, or they got lower back pain and they need to naturally decompress their spine. It's just us teaching you how to move, teaching you how to do correct breathing. A lot of us don't breathe correctly, which causes a lot of back pain. So we teach you how to correct your posture and how to do deep diaphragmatic breathing. So anytime we teaching you, that's education. We call it training.
Okay. And then the therapy, what would take place in a therapy room?
Therapy, like for instance, we have something called post-electrical-magnetic therapy, or what you would call PEMF. You sit on a bed, which is FDA approved. You don't have to have a medical license to buy it. You lay on this bed and you just turn on a frequency, and what it does is, when you look at your erythrocytes or your red blood cells, there's a membrane around them. When the poles switch, they clump together, and it causes a lot of clots and things like that. Well, you can get on this bed, and it will charge your blood cells to the negative ion again, and it separates them. So it's stuff like that. Just nothing that's medicine. It's a bed that's FDA approved, that they sold it to me. I got training and a certification on it. You come in, you lay down on the bed, and you receive post-electrical magnetic therapy. There's another room, which is what me and Sir here was talking about, which is the lymphatic room. You know, there's not really nobody doing the massage themselves. There's a FDA approved machine that you lay on. It's like a bag that you get in that hugs you, and you have somebody over there that's just watching it as he's running. You put it on lymphatic massage, you put the timer on. I'm gonna put it on 30 minutes. You make sure that it is secure. They put a blindfold on, listen to some good music, and then it just massages and caresses their fascia and their lymphatics. There's another room which is called near infrared, or what we call biophotomodulation. This is a red light therapy bed that you lay on, and it gives you these red light rays that helps jumpstart your mitochondria, give you energy. It's good for collagen production. It's anti-aging mechanisms inside of it. So it's a lot of stuff that nature do naturally. Just smart geniuses put it inside of a software and a machine and allow for people like me to buy it and master the knowledge of it to serve it back to the community.
Okay, so most of the therapy that would be occurring would be machine
Yes.
induced. Okay.
But we don't want machines running the place. So even though you get on a machine, there's always somebody there with you that have a certification from the place that they bought the machine that can just walk you through it, show you how to use it, talk to you, ask you if you're okay, is it comfortable, is the compression too tight, is it not tight, just so they can have, you know, that human type of interaction and they not just jumping on machines.
So the therapy would also include, I'm sure, the massage therapy in that regard then?
Yes.
So would that be safe to say then that the only hands-on with a client would be a physical, a massage therapy?
Yes, technically. And again, when I say massage, if you look at the machine, it literally says Pro Balancer Massage Therapy. So that is the massage therapist. It's the machine. But we have people that have certifications in lymphatics and massages that can walk you through and talk, because it's based around education too. So we don't only want you getting on a machine. We want to talk to you about what the machine do, how it imitates nature. We want you to leave out with your brain full. Like, not only did I receive these therapies, but I received knowledge and education as well.
So you mentioned that you had a registered nurse and a regular nurse. Is there?
Yeah. So a registered nurse. So for instance, a registered nurse, she's with us. She's with us, but she don't even do anything to be a nurse. Her job and her position don't even take her being a registered nurse. She's just somebody that was a registered nurse in the field. She loved what I was doing. She's from the south side of St. Louis. She said, how can I work with you? So she brings people in. She take them to the waiting room. She talk to them about things. She show them around. You know, she helped me out in the microbiology room. She helped me teach anatomy and physiology. So we're not even doing anything that even require these things, but a lot of doctors and nurses love me and love my content, so they reach out to me and they want to help out.
Would the nurse be taking vitals?
It depends on what you mean by vitals, because you're just talking about like reading your heart rate, looking in your eyes. We do things
Blood
like
pressure, pulse,
yes, and
respiration.
we do things. We will check your breath. We do things like iridology, where we look inside of your eyes and we read your eyes. We do reflexologies. We can read your hand, your palms, your face. It's things like that. Things before. It's everything before you get to the pharmaceutical side is what we do.
So you were going to draw blood with a stick,
Yeah.
like a diabetic stick, and you were going to enlarge that and look at parasites, or I believe you said infection. Forgive me if I.
Well, no. So I'm saying just like what we mean by pathologies, I mean just anything that's in your blood. Microbiology. We can check something called the glycocalyx. I can see if you got any what you would call schistosoma parasites, which are nothing but blood parasites. All of us has got them, and it's just amazing when you can see these things. After I prick your finger, I get a drop of blood. A drop of blood is 2 million cells, one drop. So you can put it on a slide and magnify it, and it shows everything that's going on in your biology. And based off of that, I can tell you, okay, I see lipid crystals inside of your blood. I see calcites inside of your blood. I see rouleau inside of your blood. That's when your blood cells starts to stick together. I can tell that you're deprived of oxygen. So once I get all of that, okay, I see a diet plan that you can get on, and here goes some therapies that you can use to help with everything that we see under the microscope.
Okay, so wouldn't that be diagnostic?
No. Diagnosing is saying she has asthma. Diagnosing is saying that you have cancer. Only a pathologist and an oncologist can say you have cancer. I can't say that. I don't have that type of equipment. I don't have that type of training or anything. So that's totally different. If we only deal with symptomologies, we never deal with the actual name of disease. You come to me and you say that you have stomach cancer, go to your doctor about stomach cancer. But these are the physiologies and networks of cancer. I know that all cancer is the cell lacking oxygen. I can help you out with oxygen. I can teach you how to breathe. I can give you burdock root. It'll help open up your cells, so when you are breathing, you can get more oxygen to the cells. But if you need treatment for cancer, go to the allopathic community. So it's a big difference.
So I certainly understand that the herbal nutritional counseling can contribute to overall health, and there's probably a lot of debate about that, but a lot of people firmly believe in that it helps. So if a person came to you with cancer, can nutritional or herbal counseling or supplements help them?
If a person, I will answer that question this way. No matter what you're dealing with, medicine is 120 years old, the allopathic medicine, which I'm not against, I'm not going to sit here and talk bad about them, but before the pharmaceutical industry was made, what were people doing to sustain homeostasis or to keep a peace of mind before that? And they was taking things that grew in their backyard. They was choosing to have a right diet. They were exercising more, and most of them followed a religious belief. And that's all we doing. If something, we're not extremists, something wrong with you, you break a leg, you got a tumor, go to your doctor. But if you're coming to just get overall health and you want to feel better, you want to lose weight, you want to look better, you want to eat better, you're depressed, a lot of this starting the gut, you have a guy that's very, very knowledgeable about the digestive system and how to cleanse your gut out. You have all these machines that will lower your cortisol levels, that'll make you feel better about yourself. We're not doctors, they're the doctors. I am a doctor because I'm a teacher, and I use that word wisely, and at the end of all of my titles, if you look it up, I state that I am a non-physician all the time. Go see them for that, but come see us for anything else outside of that. Now, if you want me to talk about cancer, yes, I can talk about cancer, but I can't tell you go to your doctor for cancer. But we can talk about the symptomologies, though. We definitely can.
Thank you. That's all I have. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman O'Donnell. Okay, I want to take a couple questions. We have more lights on, but I want to ask a couple questions.
Yeah.
Get my turn. It's very intriguing. Like I told you before, I watched a lot of your videos,
Yes.
because it is so intriguing and curious. And I know a little bit of your story, and I know you practice what you preach.
Yeah.
Right.
Had a heart attack when I was 21.
And you'll get this one. Thank you for getting down to a cellular level with us on this. So, anyway, when you receive these products, do you mix the products and repackage them, or is everything that's shipped to you, is it just resent out?
It's 75, they ship to me, we label them and ship them out because it is white labeled.
Okay.
And then the 25, we'll make a tea or something like that, yeah.
Okay.
But we're not doing no hard manufacturing at all whatsoever.
What about like juices and things like that?
No, we don't sell juices.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't sell juices.
Okay. And I don't know if this is an appropriate question, but it's it's interesting though, because I know the podcast, and you have a lot of followers, right? And it's a big part of your, I could see that you have use for this broadcasting studio because you're monetizing this,
Yes.
right? So that's a big part of your, what's bigger, the broadcasting or the product sales? Or is it both? It runs.
Yeah,
it's
a mammoth. It's pretty big. Both of them are equally important.
Now, at your store that you have, do you have a lot of walk-in to a retail space there? You sell products there?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We have a lot of people that walk in currently at the 2402 North Highway 67.
Okay. Do you have people who travel from far away?
We have hundreds of thousands of people that travel to Florissant every few months. It's crazy. So much we have to turn down. That's the reason why I wanted to get a bigger space, because it's just the amount of people that knock on our door is just insane.
I've seen the education videos, and there's a lot of people in there. But I've also seen the lectures as well at universities.
Which is thousands,
So congratulations on
Thank you,
that.
I appreciate it.
I think that's all. Oh, one more question. I know you have a property that's, I believe it's actually in Hazelwood, but is it like a retreat center, or is that your residence?
So no, it's not my residence.
Yeah.
We're trying to make it into a retreat center. It's almost done, but it's 10 acres in Hazelwood where we grow all types of orchard, fruit trees. We've been working on the property for about 4 years now, and then it's finally going to be complete in April. And it's literally right down the street.
Yeah, I did see it. I saw it in the video, and then I realized where it was.
Yeah,
I used to know your neighbor moved, but you had a neighbor at one time that lived right next door. So.
Yeah.
And way back when, he's told me about you.
Yeah.
And I had no idea till now.
I'm trying to buy that house now.
Are you? Okay, all right. So, all right, I'm gonna head over to the other Councilman Egan.
Thank you. Again, I appreciate you standing here and asking these questions tonight. Two more real quick. Number one, with the people that are coming to your retail store and the lectures, do we have any concerns about the traffic right there at that intersection with Waffle House being there and
I don't think so, because when you turn up Charbonnier, to get into GMT proper, the island was there, was really kind of a mess,
Right.
and it's just right at that left turn if you're heading north on Charbonnier. But the entrance to 660 is much further down. It's almost at the middle of that large parcel of property there. So the negotiating that is much better than at where Travers had that entry over there.
And then last question, just want to verify, you said that your, I believe you said that your honorary PhD was from Stanford?
Yeah, Stanford, another one for Harvard Christian University, another one from Kingdom. It's a bunch of ministries that gave them
Okay,
to me as well.
Stanford, the one in California in the Pac-12?
No, now that's where I got my science nutritional certification from. I got that from Stanford
Okay.
too. Stamped and billed from them as well. So I got a whole certification in nutritional science from Stanford in Cali. And I also got my biochemistry and human biology certification from the University of Adelaide.
Okay, thank you very much. That's all I have.
And you can check them out too when you come. I got everything all in my office on top of my cabinets.
Perfect.
Councilman Manganelli.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to follow up on what I said earlier and correct myself a little bit. Yes, the lymphatic drainage is a certification, but it typically goes along with somebody with formal training in massage therapy or even estheticians.
Yes.
So, but what you're telling me, you have no licensed massage therapist there to go along with that, or any type of, does anybody hold a license at your facility?
And the reason why is because they don't need a license. When I say we went through rigorous things to make sure that we wasn't breaking the law, and we're not. And we've been open, we've been thriving, and you literally don't need a license for that, and you can literally get certified to do massages through those websites. But I get exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about a licensed massage therapist. For what we doing and for the bed that we using, it don't require any license or anything like that.
I just remember the anatomy classes my daughter took.
Mm-hmm.
It was very, very intense.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I don't have a massage therapy license, but I still had to take those same classes to even get my certifications and even to learn the lymphatic system. So I can just imagine what she went through.
Okay. All right, thank you. That's all I have.
Mm-hmm.
Councilman Caputo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, one question. You said that you have people coming from all over.
All over the world.
Now, you're not going to have any kind of overnight stay there?
Oh, no, we're not doing
So
that.
everybody that comes, they already have a place to stay?
Yes.
So you're not going to have no facilities like that at all for patients?
No, and we don't have patients. We call them clients.
Clients?
Yeah.
Okay, so you won't have no kind of clients?
No, staying
No
night.
clientele that would spend the night?
No, not with me, not at all.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say that, when I think about this and this concept of nutrition and going along with health, I've been to chiropractors. A lot of them sell herbs and, things, Juice Plus on the side. Also some dentists do that, and there's some people that do benefit from that. I think we run into that ourselves where, people are looking for relief, and sometimes it has to do with nutrition along with the medical piece.
And it's a very, very big niche, and that's why I'm big in it. I mean, a lot of people now, they're not throwing away their doctors or none of that, but I realize my problem starts in my gut. I need to breathe, stretch more, I need sunlight, and I need a diet plan. And that's I'm an expert at doing that, and I don't have to be a licensed doctor to do it.
Wonderful. Well, I appreciate you hanging out with us tonight.
I appreciate
Giving us all the answers, and I would like to go with Egan too.
Please, I'd love to show y'all. All y'all can come.
All right, thank you, Dr. Yaki. Thank you, Mr. Dale. All right.
We free to go now?
Yes. Well, I'm going to ask for, if there's anybody in the audience, before this public hearing is closed, would you like to comment? Okay, seeing none, Councilman Egan moves to close this public hearing, seconded by Councilman Caputo. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? This public hearing is closed. The next item on the agenda is old business. The first item is bills for second reading. Bill number 10184, Councilman O'Donnell moves to reconsider his vote from the last meeting. Is there a second for that? Second. Seconded by Councilman Egan. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries, and the item is now returned to the floor for at the final reading. We're going to need a motion and a second for a third reading, and then we'll have discussion after that. Is there a motion for a third reading? So my understanding is we have to have a third reading. We're going to redo the third reading, and then have discussion.
Yeah, so the reconsideration brought it back to the floor,
Mhm.
and then you are, essentially, if you bring it back to the floor, you're on the third reading. That's where we come back to.
Whether or not we do the third reading is debatable. Is that right? Or do we need the third reading?
You would be at the third reading.
The third reading.
Either
So
way.
we're at the third reading.
Yes.
So what I'm looking for us to get to discussion is a motion for a third reading. I will motion for a third reading. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilwoman Parson. Okay. Discussion. Let's go to Councilman O'Donnell.
Mr. President, I'd like to move to suspend the rules and invite the petitioner to the microphone.
Councilman O'Donnell moves to suspend the rules, seconded by Councilman Shildroth. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the rules are suspended. Will the petitioner for Taste LLC please come forward? Did I get that right? Taste by R. All right, welcome. Will you please state your name for the record?
I am Tequila Clark.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. Councilman O'Donnell.
Thank you. Good evening, Tequila.
Good
Welcome. So I know that you had requested for this, and I wanted to give you that opportunity, especially since one of our members was ill at the last meeting. But I wanted to ask you a couple other questions because there was some confusion, at least to me, on what we were proposing. So within the proposal, we originally talked about a restaurant on one side and a banquet facility on the other side.
Yes.
Are we still going to have a restaurant, or are we going to have banquets in both sides?
No, restaurant on one side still and banquet on the other.
And so that restaurant will be open daily?
Yes.
Okay. So the banquet, the occurrence of a banquet won't affect the operation of the restaurant?
No, they both will have their own individually staffed
Gotcha.
because the banquets are scheduled, so we'll have scheduled staff to specifically work the banquet.
Okay. And then I think that something came up where we referenced that you wanted to have a Christmas party, and we were, with regard to that, you were talking about hours of operation. But we also, the previous one, at the public hearing, I believe it was stated that we were just going to have, or the business was just going to have contracted events.
All the banquets will be contracted events.
Okay.
Yes.
So Taste LLC is not going to have a Christmas party and invite people to come in and pay an admission fee for a certain number of hours or something of that nature, like a Mardi Gras party, Christmas party. So these will be individuals, companies, corporations,
yes,
groups that come to you, contract for that part of the business, or
exactly.
that part of the building.
Yes.
or
Taste won't host any
center.
paid
Gotcha.
events at all.
Okay, and then we had been talking, and you referenced when you kind of reached out to me that you might be agreeable to changing your hours of operation at least to 11 p.m.
Yes.
for closing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think you also referenced that you would need time for 2 6-hour events.
Yes, with the amount of the budget, as I stated in that as well, the proposal that we're putting into to bring that particular building up to code, and also to put in the items such as the hood and everything for the kitchen and things of that nature. It runs us with construction and putting that kitchen in close to $80,000 to $100,000 aesthetically on how we want it, specifically because we have to do the restaurant side, and then we'll also be pretty much white boxing the banquet side. And then we'll also basically order like the square and round tables and chairs, maybe white, black, gold, give you your choices when you're specifically hosting a venue. If you want choices of round table, square tables, black, white, gold, or silver chairs, things of that nature. We'll have that stuff on site in that storage room, in that storage area.
So originally in the public hearing, we talked about, or at least you talked about, having business events or training sessions in the afternoon concerned with in deference to other businesses that would be occupying the plaza at that time. But now you're suggesting that they would be like a full banquet during the day and then in an evening session as well?
No, so classroom style and maybe corporate events will, occasionally it's not, they don't need 4 hours occasionally for that. Occasionally if you're teaching, the max that you're probably teaching someone is 2 hours of time. We're talking about our larger events that will have at least 50, 80, 60 people. Those are the evening events. And then I have an example I can show you when we're talking about timing, just to get a little bit more specific, like an event timeline. So basically, I don't know if you can see it all, but basically I'll push it up and down for event timeline requirements. Of course, this would be the activity, the timeline. Setup will be about 1 hour because you have to give an hour before the event to set the place up. And then event time will be your scheduled 4-hour events. And then cleanup, you have to allow 1 hour after to clean up. And so here is an example of if your event started at, if your event starts at 7 p.m., we will set it up at 6 p.m. We'll need that hour to set it up, bring all the tables and chairs, tablecloths, decorations, everything you need. Event starts at 7, you'll get your 4-hour window. Before your event ends, we'll probably end it 10 to 5 minutes before and make the announcement, stop the DJ, the music, so everyone can know that that event is ending. And then we'll get everybody out the building. The guests or exit, and this is also will be in the contracts that your guests must exit the building after your 4-hour event time. And then staff ends the cleanup, and we're out of there as staff by midnight. But the event, everyone, the guests will be out by 11. That's what was the other proposed time. And that would allow us to even have, like you said, a classroom teaching if we need to have one during the day, or if we wanted to have a day event that consists of 4 hours, we can do 2 events that day with the 6-hour time frame in each.
So if you had a window like till noon to 4 or 1 to 5, couldn't you be ready to, and if those are teaching or kind of business type things, wouldn't it be easier to clean up that room and be ready to have a banquet ready by 6 p.m. to where we could
It just
say
depends on the
p.m.?
time frame that the person select for their event. You also have to know that, again, setup not only includes us setting up the room, but if we're preparing the food, we have to set up the banquet, the buffet style tables, decorate, put the, do everything we need to do. So we're not ending an event and then starting one right after. It's impossible. So we'll have to end an event, clean it up, and then start the next event.
So you don't feel like that would be viable if we could move to a 10 o'clock close?
Not really for the cost, because just think about it, Monday, during the weekday, most of our events, our larger events will probably be on the weekend speaking. So I'm not expecting Monday through Thursday to have events that will run to midnight. Most of the time during the week, that's a work week. I'll probably get a lot of classroom teachings, corporate meetings, things of that nature, celebrations of lives and things of that nature you'll have during the week. On our weekend days, which will consist of our Fridays, Saturdays, or Sundays, that's when we'll probably have those evening events, which will probably have our large events. People like you and I, we work full time, and if I want to have an anniversary party or if I want to have a baby shower or retirement party, typically I work Monday through Friday and I get off after 5, so I got to go home, get dressed, and then come to an event. I wouldn't typically be at an event at 12 o'clock and I run a business. That's not possible.
So would it be practical then for the business, and I don't want to suggest you would know, what's viable for you. Would it be practical for the business or possible for the business to say, because Sunday seems to me to be a night where most people are not having a lot of events, and I mean, maybe so. But would it be possible to say Sunday through Thursday to close at 10, and then Friday and Saturday close at 11 p.m.?
That's possible, yeah. Because as we grow, and if it becomes where we need to come back and ask for extra time, we can possibly do that. That'll be fine.
Okay, is there, Ms. Graves, is there a stipulation to be added by motion, or how will we do that to amend the hours?
So you would need to amend the ordinance that's before you. Right now, the ordinance, including with the criteria or the conditions, says that the restaurant operations are Sunday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. You would need a motion and a second and then approval of the council to amend that to reflect the hours you just discussed. Then if that was approved, then when you do vote on the third reading, it would be incorporating those new hours.
Okay, I will make a motion then to, forgive me, I wasn't paying close enough attention.
Yes.
How to word that?
So you would be moving to amend the ordinance, in particular section 1, subsection 2 for hours of operation, which would be limited, I think it would, correct me if I'm wrong, Sunday through Thursday of 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., and then Friday through Sunday of
Friday and Saturday.
Of 11 a.m. through 11 p.m.
Can I say something? I'm sorry.
Sure.
So the 11 a.m. through 10 p.m. was specifically only for the restaurant. The banquet hall was based on the need of the event rental. That's what we were doing. So I think where we're having them both kind of mixed up. The 11 to 10 was for the restaurant side, which is fine. That's fine, Monday through Sunday. I don't have a problem with that. Event, if I wanted to host a corporate event and they want to come at 9, I could now have to wait till 11 for those people to come in.
Are you talking about in the morning?
Say that again?
In the morning?
Yes,
Yeah.
at 9 a.m. because the ordinance will say I can only start at 11 a.m.
So you're saying you want to start earlier?
Earlier.
On the weekday?
On the weekday, but on the
Okay.
weekend, we can, on the weekday for the banquet hall, basically.
So you're looking for 9 a.m. to 10 p.m.?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before I don't know if I've advanced that now that you've stated it, but before I make that motion, there may be other council members that had questions or.
There are, yeah. So let's hold that thought.
Thank you.
And let's go down to Councilman Manganelli.
Thank you, Mr. President. Welcome again for coming. My first question is, you're saying that the restaurant's Monday through Sunday, and that you will never close the restaurant. Like, say if somebody comes in and they want to have an event, a party for 140 people. Would you then turn them away, or would you close the restaurant?
The restaurant specifically will be open for restaurant purposes, sit down, because that's sit down. So in that ordinance that I described, you cannot have things such as a DJ, disc jockey, music, dance floor, of those things. So the restaurant side could never be used as a banquet because I can't have those things over there.
Right, okay, so you're saying, since and this, the capacity is like around 150, so if somebody comes in with a party for 140 people, you're gonna tell them, sorry, I can't?
Yeah, because I will have to go by the capacity that will fit the banquet room and not the whole building itself. And then they probably wouldn't want it on that side because they're not going to be able to have any type of music.
Well, I'm saying splitting it between the two rooms.
No, because it's not an opening, it's a corridor in the middle, so you wouldn't be able to see your other party. Half of your party will be in one room and half will be in another, so it wouldn't really make sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then your timeline there does kind of concern me, where the music ends at 10:55 p.m. and everybody's out the door by 11.
That's roughly saying, but we know that everybody will be exiting before the time is permitted. I say exiting the building, it shouldn't take people no more than 15, 20 minutes maybe to get out the building.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're making the announcement maybe 10 minutes prior to your event and cutting the music, so that's an extra 10 minutes we got for people to get prepared to exit the building. So if we don't have any more dancing or anything going on, activities, you're pretty much getting your things and going to your car.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's been my concern all along too, is people walking out, close to 11 o'clock at night. And you have the neighborhood behind there. And so a lot of times people don't go to their cars very quietly. And it being a disruption to the neighbors behind. That's my biggest concern here.
Well, my thing with that is that we're not having any kind of nightclub events. So typically when we're having like paid for catered events, it's a different type of crowd than the nightclub crowd. So that's what I want to reiterate. So if you're paying for an event, I can forfeit your event anytime during your event if you break any of the policies and procedures that we have set place in the rules.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's all I had.
Councilman Egan.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for coming back. A couple questions. And the banquet room itself is not the one that has the bar in it, correct? Or the two rooms?
Exactly.
Okay, and that's 974 square feet?
Yep, I can put it back.
If I approximately, if I got that right?
Yes.
Okay, so how many of the tables will you be, what's the maximum amount of tables you could put in that room for 974?
Probably in that particular room, we can probably put like anywhere from like 8 round tables in that.
8 round tables, that'd be 64 people. What's your total capacity in that room?
I don't know that yet until, I guess, they just gave me the total capacity of the building, but I don't know the capacity of
I think we said it was 150?
Yeah, it's like 150. Yeah.
And for the whole building, we would have 2 one-stall toilets?
4.
Will you have,
1, 2,
you have
3,
2 or
4.
staff
Well,
toilets?
1 is staff, and the 3 actually.
So you'd have
this
3
one-
toilets for, and for the 150, okay?
And we're not sure if they're gonna be one-stall toilets yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still working
Right.
out the kinks on the build-out part of it.
Okay, yeah, I see that. And my last question would be, and I'm a little confused on the timeline on the opening, but I think we're 10 or 11 a.m. for the first event. Is that where we're at right now?
Like for like classroom teachings and things of that, we wanted to be able to open at least about 9-ish, 9 o'clock.
9 a.m. And how's
Yes,
that going to?
and so we'll be there setting up probably for an event to start at 10, basically. So what's being confused is that we have to allow that 1 hour setup, and we have to allow that 1 hour cleanup. It's not particularly that they'll be there for the 4 hours doing their event, but that hour before and hour after is my staff setting up and
Right.
cleaning up. Yeah.
So the parking lot in there, starting at 9 a.m. or let's say 9 a.m. for a corporate event.
Mm-hmm.
The parking up there is going to be, might be a little, I don't know, it strikes me being a little tight during the daytime.
For a corporate event, if we're having something like classroom teaching
Mm-hmm.
style, we're not expecting more than like maybe 25, 20
Okay.
people. Like, we're not expecting 100 people for a classroom. We wouldn't be able to take that load.
All right, that's all I have. Thank you.
Councilman Caputa.
That's okay. I had a question for the counselor, but it was answered.
Okay,
Thank you.
Councilwoman Pagano.
Hi, okay. So I'm gonna go back even to what was happening in my ward.
Mm-hmm.
I think your timeline, and I don't know, I've been to many wedding receptions, many parties and things, but it's unrealistic to think that music stops and in 5 minutes, even 15 minutes, and I don't know if you know Italians, but there's such thing, isn't it? An Italian goodbye and an Irish goodbye. And honestly, I mean, it takes 45 minutes or an hour just to get out from the dancing, to calm down, to pick up your stuff, to say goodbye to everyone, to get out the door, and you're still talking on the way out the door to the parking lot. And you're already gonna be cleaned up. I mean, by the time I'm out the door. Does that make, I mean,
In our proposals, we do have a rule inside the proposal that states that for the host of the party, they will have to let their guests know it's no outside socializing. So you're not able to, your party's ended, you let your guests be aware when my party ended, we need to get in our cars and we need to go. So we do have like different stipulations and I should have passed them out. Like I bought copies of like I was thinking to bring them up here.
it's just, I figured you're gonna have to like herd these people out. I mean, you're gonna have to be standing there herding to get them out.
I think it's an
11
issue if you're having like a large event, typically, but I think typically the amount of people that we'll have for certain events and then their schedule. So you'll be able to be prepared staff-wise to kind of end the party and get people on out the door. I'm not saying they're gonna be out in 5 minutes, but I'm gonna be equipped enough with staff to help that happen. Because we wanna go home too.
Well, I get that. Yeah, I get that. So where are you putting the music in this space? Just as I asked the other one.
Right now, it's
Is
just a
it by
blank
the
open
door?
space. So what we do is based on the square footage and based on the amount of people that you're having, we'll then, say for instance, if you're having, let's say, 6 tables of 8 people. So we'll either design it, if you want L shape, or either we'll do like 3 and 3, and then some of the floor area will be left open. You know, you'll have to leave open spaces for different things. You'll have to line up your buffet table for food, you know, and then you can have like an open space. So like from here to here can be like an open space, and you can line your tables up back here. You know, you have to like, it's hard to specifically say, oh, it'll be here, because it's based on the amount of people that are in your party. That's gonna determine if you're gonna even be able to have a dance floor.
Right.
And if you can't, it'll just be a sit-down dinner.
Okay, yeah. I guess I'm having more trouble now with the hours than anything, and seeing how you're gonna get people out. But, okay. I'm finished, thank you.
Okay. Councilman O'Donnell, back to you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Sorry, I keep going back. Tequila, I really, really would like you to have what you want. But I'm just really, I just really feel like that 10 p.m. In this day and age with the different types of parties, banquets that happen, that most of them are finished by that time. So what I'm suggesting, and I guess the timeline that is kind of being discussed is in the 5-minute window. It seems to me more realistic to end food service and alcohol service at 10 p.m.
Yes.
And then that way, if I got a drink at 5 to 10, I don't have to chug it. I can sit and enjoy that, and then maybe be out by 11 ultimately, and then staff, obviously has some cleaning to do. But I think I'd just be so much more comfortable if we said that the event ended at 10, and then over that next 30 minutes, 40 minutes, people, finishing their drink or whatever they had and saying their goodbyes, and then everyone would be gone well before 11 o'clock in that regard, without pushing them on a 5-minute window.
Yeah, I think respectively, I don't expect anybody, and this was just like to give you an example, you can play with hours. I can't necessarily just say everybody's party is gonna be at 7, and some people's party might be at 4 or 5 in the evening. So we will be done. It's just specifically, if we have to have an evening event for any reason, we were expecting for the event to be ended by 11. Typically, it may take 20, 30 minutes for everybody to get gone on the parking lot, but we will be completely silenced before midnight. I know that, because everybody will be gone, including myself and my staff. So I'm not typically saying that, and then I keep reiterating, this is not an event center, and this is not a club. This is solely a banquet hall, which you're paying for a sit-down. Most of the thing is sit-down catering. You just so happen to have a little entertainment. So that's what I kind of want to reiterate. I want to get away from thinking that we're having an event center or a nightclub. We're solely sitting down. The sole purpose is a sit-down dinner and to maybe communicate. If we have a little entertainment, yes, everybody won't have entertainment. It may just be a sit-down. It may be just like my birthday dinner. I'll have long tables. Maybe I play soft music and my friends come and we eat dinner. When dinner is done, dessert's done, we're out of there. So everything will be specifically, I wish I could say that, but every party doesn't go like that. A baby shower necessarily doesn't have a DJ. You're doing a baby shower, you're opening gifts, you're seeing family and friends and things. So it's different types of events, and I don't want to solely focus on the party type of events. And I think that's where the confusion is coming in at.
So I don't want to keep pushing on this, because, and if it's, you can't, I understand it. But my comfort is on the 10 p.m. So wouldn't it be possible to have an evening event for Taste LLC? We can offer you 6 to 10 p.m., and then your guests will be expected to leave the premises before 11.
So that was fine with me for Monday through Thursday, but the weekend hours, you want to go back to 10 p.m. for those two, for Friday and Saturday?
I'm kind of thinking that's my comfort, and I don't mean to be kind of all over the place, but I really am, because we're talking about so many different variables. But would that be possible even on the Friday, Saturday?
Is it possible that even if we have the demand, this is a question that I want to know. If I have the demand, am I able to come back and request those hours, those additional later hours? Is that, or once it's wrote how it's written, it's in stone like that for the duration of the year? I don't know, I'm asking that question.
Yeah.
So once a special amendment or special use permit is issued, then you're generally stuck with those, but you can come back to the council and ask for an amendment. It goes through basically the same process
All
you're
over
going
again.
through today, or through this process through P&Z and then back to the council. It's not like you can change it a weekend ahead of time.
Can I clarify, Councilman O'Donnell, are you saying open till 11 on Fridays and Saturdays, but finish serving at 10?
Well, I would say that the opening or the closing time is 10 p.m. on both sides.
But people can still be there, is what you're saying. So then really not closed.
Well, I mean, I think at other restaurants and other facilities, they close at 10 p.m. Or they stop serving food or alcohol at 10 p.m., but people may be still in there at 10:30.
So then I think they'd have to still be open if people are still in there, maybe, right? Because we're regulating the open hours, not the serving hours. Can we regulate the serving hours?
You could, if you all wish to do that and the applicant is okay with that, then yes.
So, I mean, I think if people are still going to be there, then we have to say that they're open. Otherwise, we expect them not to be in there,
Yeah,
right?
right now, the language of the ordinance is operating, and so if we're operating, that implies people are in the building, not just serving.
Say that again.
So typically when we're talking about operating hours, it means the hours that you're allowed to have customers in the building. So I agree that sometimes you will have customers that will be there after hours, but you would close down the serving of the food and the alcohol. I think banquets are a little bit different than a restaurant though, because how do you sort of cut that off? Because it's all included within the package. It's not quite the same as I can cut off my point of sale purchases at 10 p.m. because they're already there. You could say, stop serving, stop allowing entertainment, etc. But we could write that into the ordinance. I just wouldn't rely on that term operating.
So I think my comfort level would be the food service, alcohol service, and music ending at 10 p.m. So I don't know where we go from there. If there's another motion to be made about substitution or amending the bill.
We could, if you wish to do that, we could write that into the ordinance. Yes.
But I don't know the petitioner.
So I think I'm trying to understand it as well. So typically, I think if my event is over at 11, my food and alcohol services will stop an hour before anyway, because it's done. Banquets is set up buffet style, kind of, sort of, and we're serving, and after everybody's eating their plate, we ask the host, what do you want to do with the food? Do you want us to pack it up to take with you, or are we keeping it open on the table or whatnot? So we're that's what I'm saying. It's not like a restaurant or a club where it just goes all night. Specifically, it's packaged, and this is the way that it goes. Like buffet style, we end it. It'll be done an hour before anyway. We're just saying we're allowing them, like you were saying, if they're sitting there and they're just talking or, you know, whatever, to be out of there, everybody out by 11, you know, and so we'll stop all music 10 to 15 minutes prior so everybody can be out. That was my kind of, one of my kind of suggestion, what I was suggesting here. Not necessarily serve food and drinks all the way up until 11. No, not at all. We would, because that wouldn't allow us to leave on time either.
So would stop alcohol and music at 10:30 and then close at 11?
Okay.
We could write that in, yes.
I keep referencing the 10, so I don't know if someone else in the
So
council wants
here's
to
what I'm
move on
hearing,
this.
okay? So we're talking about hours between 9, on Sunday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. But to limit the food, alcohol, and entertainment to no later than 10 p.m. on Friday and Saturday.
Yep.
How does that sound?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we have a motion to amend the ordinance from, to limit open hours from, for Sunday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. And we're going to add a condition on the weekend hours for no alcohol, food, or entertainment after 10 p.m. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. So now we have an amended bill. Still, any discussion, any more discussion? I have more lights. Are we still on? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. President. I think you already clarified what I was going to ask, so thank
Okay.
you.
All right. So it looks like we, let's see, with a motion on the floor for a final reading, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
My turn.
Yes.
Ordinance authorizing a special use permit to Taste by R&B LLC for the operation of a banquet center and a restaurant at 1127 through 1133 North Highway 67 in a B3 Extensive Business District.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay. And while you're, do you want, actually, the, what you brought, the handouts, will you?
You need to vote. You need to vote.
Vote.
Roll call.
But I'm gonna call for the audience first before
Right.
we
Oh,
vote.
right. I
So
think
that's
it
why I'm
was-
allowing you to sit down.
Okay.
Please, yeah, excuse
I'm
me.
done. Okay.
And then can we get your handouts before you
Yes.
leave? Okay. And before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this bill? Seeing none, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
O'Donnell?
Can I clarify, because we didn't read it with the ordinance for the third reading, but that substitute bill that we are added on, the amendment, is now part of what we're voting on now?
That's correct. We're voting on the amended bill.
Yes.
So should I change the wording of this at all, or you want to just read it as a?
Just for clarification, on the last meeting, we're talking about the ordinance. Was there a substitute bill? No, okay, so, no, then what she read was as amended.
As
Because
amended?
The amendment had already been approved.
Was
So-
that part of what you read was as amended?
I didn't say as amended, but I can reread it if you want me to say as amended.
Go ahead.
Okay. Ordinance authorizing a special use permit to Taste by R&B LLC for the operation of a banquet center restaurant at 1127-1133 North Highway 67 in a B3 Extensive Business District as amended. All right, then I will do a vote. All right, O'Donnell.
Yes.
Pagano? Parson? Siam? Harris?
Yes.
Manganelli? Egan? Caputa? Shuldroff?
Bill number 10184 passes and becomes ordinance number 9180. Thank you. Bill number 10188, Councilman Siam moves for a second reading.
All right.
Seconded by Councilman Childrath. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance to authorize a special use permit for a restaurant with drive-through and repainting brick at 2825 North Highway 67 in a B3 Extensive Business District.
Councilman Siam moves for a third reading. Seconded by Councilwoman Parson. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Ordinance to authorize a special use permit for a restaurant with drive-through and repainting brick at 2825 North Highway 67 in a B3 Extensive Business District.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this bill? Hearing none, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
O'Donnell? Yes. Pagano? Parson? Siam? Harris?
Yes.
Manganelli?
Yes.
Egan? Caputa? Shildroth?
Bill number 10188 passes and becomes ordinance number 9181. Bill number 10189. Councilman Manganelli moves for a second reading. Seconded by Councilman Egan. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance of the City of Florissant, Missouri granting a franchise to operate a natural gas distribution system within the city to Spire, Missouri, Inc.
Councilwoman Parson moves for a third reading. Seconded by Councilman Childrath. All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance of the City of Florissant, Missouri granting a franchise to operate a natural gas distribution system within the city to Spire, Missouri, Inc. All right.
Before the final vote is taken, we got the third already, I think, didn't we? All right, before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this bill? Okay. Hearing none, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
O'Donnell? Yes. Pagano? Parson? Siam? Harris?
Yes.
Manganelli?
Yes.
Egan? Caputa? Shildroth?
Bill number 10189 passes and becomes ordinance number 9182. Bill number 10190. Councilman Childrath moves for a second reading. Seconded by Councilman Manganelli. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance establishing the 2026 Capital Projects Fund and committing excess general fund reserves for projects assigned to the fund.
Councilman Childrath moves for a third reading. Seconded by Councilman Caputa. All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance establishing the 2026 Capital Projects Fund and committing excess general fund reserves for projects assigned to the fund.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this bill? Hearing none, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
O'Donnell? Yes. Pagano? Parson? Siam? Harris?
Yes.
Manganelli? Manganelli, oh, I'm sorry. Egan? Caputa? Shildroth?
Bill number 10190 passes and becomes ordinance number 9183. The next item on the agenda is new business. The first item under new business is board appointments. Are there any council appointments? I see none. Mayor? Okay. Councilman Siam moves to accept the application to transfer special use permit number 8778 from L&M Motors, Inc. to NR Auto Store 110 LLC, doing business as Gary's Automotive, for the operation of a automotive service garage located at 1745 North Highway 67. Seconded by Childrath. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried and the application is accepted. Councilman Manganelli moves to approve the escrow release in the amount of $232,670.99 for Manners at Coke Park, Plat 2. 70% of the improvements cost estimate. Seconded by Councilman Caputa. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried and the application is accepted. The next item on the agenda is bills for first reading. Bill number 10191.
Ordinance authorizing a special use permit to April Murray, Venue 347 LLC, to operate a banquet center at 1833 Dunn Road in a B3 Extensive Business District.
Bill number 10192.
Ordinance authorizing an amendment to ordinance number 8888 to operate a holistic clinic with therapy rooms, training rooms, and podcast recording studio at 660 Charbonnier in a B5 planned commercial district.
Bill number 10193.
Ordinance authorizing an amendment to special use permit number 8602 to add rental trucks at 730 North Highway 67 in a B3 extensive business district.
Bill number 10194.
Ordinance authorizing the transfer of special use permit number 8778 from L&M Motors, Inc. to NR Auto Store 110 LLC DBA Gary's Automotive for the operation of an automotive service garage located at 1745 North Highway 67.
Bill number 10195.
Ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement to apply for funding through MSD's Municipal Stormwater Grant Program to support stormwater infrastructure projects.
Bill number 10196.
Ordinance authorizing an amendment to ordinance number 8297 for Central Trust Bank, DBA Central Bank of St. Louis, located at 2180 North Highway 67, to allow for a financial institution bank with drive-through facilities in a B5 planned commercial district.
Bill number 10197.
Ordinance amending the AT&T cell tower lease located at 275 South New Florissant Road.
Bill number 10198.
Ordinance authorizing the reimbursement from Metropolitan Sewer District, MSD, for the purchase of the Forerunner software for management of floodplain administration.
The next item on the agenda is council announcements. Councilman Egan.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. We are less than 1 week away from the St. Patrick's Day Parade, 5K Run, and Festival, which will be held down at the Knights of Columbus Duchesne Council Home Association grounds. We invite everyone to come out as a very family-friendly event. We hope to see everyone. Let's keep praying for some nice weather, and a very happy St. Patrick's Day to all.
Councilman Childrath.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just would like to congratulate Diane Lehman on her retirement. Diane worked tirelessly in public works for many years, and she helped everybody on this dais with numerous problems, and with me especially. I could always count on her to get the work done and a request taken care of. We're going to miss you, Diane. Thank you.
Councilman O'Donnell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I do like to reiterate what Mr. Egan has already invited, and it is to invite everyone to come to the St. Patrick's Day Parade this coming Sunday. That'll be at noon, and down to the festival following that. And as Councilman Egan referenced, being family-friendly, this Society of St. Patrick's Day for Florissant has put in an extreme amount of effort in organizing and producing this, geared toward exactly that, being family-friendly. And I think that's what you will find, and I know it's something that all the citizens will enjoy. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mayor Lowry.
Thank you. So our city's trash bash, join us in an effort to clean up Sunset Park overlooking the Missouri River. That's going to be 2300 Sunset Park Drive. It's going to be at 9 a.m. on April 11th. We're going to meet on the lower level parking lot where we'll have our supplies that will be needed. We have our electronics recycling event. That's also going to be a Saturday, April 11th from 9 to 1 at St. Ferdinand Park. And then we have our document shredding event and recycling event. That'll be on Saturday, April 25th, from 9 to noon. That's also at St. Ferdinand Park. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. The next regular meeting for the City Council will be on Monday, March 23rd, 2026. Councilman O'Donnell moves to adjourn the regular meeting, seconded by Councilwoman Parson. All in favor? Any opposed? The meeting is adjourned. We just keep getting more, having more fun. There's a lot of, can't beat the dialogue. It's a good dialogue.